It was the mid 80s, and well, after Gremlins was such a big hit, there'd be numerous films that would possibly be rip-offs of it, or, well, knockoffs of it. There was Critters, there was Troll, and there was this film, which celebrates its 40th anniversary this year. Here's my review of a film that I don't know if it still deserves its hate after 40 years, but I'll defend it somehow. It's Ghoulies.
Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews.
So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1985 horror flick Ghoulies, released by Empire Pictures. This film originally came out on January 18th, 1985, but that's when it made its premiere in LA before it opening in three. But then just to this day now, it expanded and premiered in New York and then came out like, well, you know. So henceforth, I am kind of, well, 50-50 for its 40th anniversary. So the, the film was directed by Luca Berkovici, who also co-wrote the script with Jeffrey Levy, who also produced the film. The film stars Peter Liapis, Lisa Pelikan, Michael DeBarres, Jack Nance, Scott Thomson, and Mariska Hargitay in her film debut. And the film follows a young man who, after inheriting his satanic father's estate, becomes seduced by its occult secrets. This would be the first installment of a big series in a way. Anyway, here we go. Malcolm Graves, the leader of a satanic cult, is about to sacrifice his child Jonathan when his mother, Anastasia, places a protective talisman around his neck. Malcolm orders a participant named the Wolf Gang to take the child away and sacrifices her instead. 25 years later, an adult Jonathan and his girlfriend Rebecca inherit his late father's estate, where they find several books on magic and a basement full of occult paraphernalia. They throw a party, and Jonathan recruits his friends to perform a ritual in the basement for fun. When he begins conducting the ritual, Jonathan abruptly becomes short tempered. Everyone leaves when the ritual fails, but a small creature materializes in the basement. The next day, Jonathan tells Rebecca he's quitting college to work on the estate. She expresses concern, which grows when Jonathan refuses to eat, explaining that he is fasting. He conjures several creatures called Ghoulies and proclaims himself their master, demanding they hide their existence from everyone but him. One day, Rebecca comes home to find Jonathan in the basement wearing a dripping wet robe. He explains that he was trying to learn about the parents which he never knew, and promises to stop his behavior. He gives her the protective talisman as a gift, urging her to never take it off. While they are having a little sex, a ghoulie draws an occult diagram under the bed, which prompts Jonathan to chant in another language. The furious Rebecca leaves him. Jonathan summons two dwarfs named Grizel and Gridagut to his service, who promise to give him everything he desires. They explain that he must perform a dangerous ritual with seven other people to obtain the knowledge and power he seeks. Rebecca returns and asks Jonathan to leave with her, but he refuses and reveals he has green eyes. In a pick of anger, she tears off the talisman, unwittingly enabling Jonathan to hypnotize her, forcing her to do his bidding. He invites his friends and bewitches them to participate in the ritual. As Jonathan, Rebecca, their friends, Grizel, and Gritagut all chant, Malcolm is resurrected from the grave. Oblivious to this, Jonathan invites his friends to stay the night. Now for the final act and ending. As always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video, go to the description box below, and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen this movie already, as I count down now, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Malcolm proclaims himself the real master to the ghoulies and dwarfs and commands them to kill Jonathan's friends. Meanwhile, Jonathan apologizes to Rebecca and breaks the spell by placing the talisman around her neck, but she falls into a deep sleep. She wakes up to see Jonathan in a trance and runs away. After she removes the talisman around her neck, Jonathan and the ghoulies attack her, and she is magically shoved down a flight of stairs to her death. Jonathan brings her to the basement to resurrect her, where he finds the dead bodies of his friends underneath sheets. Malcolm appears with the dwarfs, revealing that he used Jonathan to resurrect him in order to capture his youth and sacrifice him. He also admits that it was he who killed Rebecca, not Jonathan. Malcolm resurrects Rebecca and to distract Jonathan, but the dwarfs alert him of the trap. Wolfgang appears and fights Malcolm with his own magical powers. The house begins to crumble, and Wolfgang defeats Malcolm before they both disappear. Jonathan's friends are resurrected, and they drive away as Grizel and Gridigut wave farewell. Mike asks what is happening, and Jonathan assures him it is over. But Mike is unconvinced after he sees the ghoulies in the car with him in the story. So, what did I think of Ghoulies? Now, I've seen this a few times. I gotta say, this film's really wow. Now, this would get a PG-13 rating. This would be one of the first few films to get that rating after the controversy of darkness occurred in PG movies, like Gremlins, for example, and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, as well as another film that came along before this, Poltergeist. But anyway, yes, the film still did pretty good as it went on to make 35 million at the box office against its 200,000 to $400,000 budget. Now, reviews were a little not great. Rotten Tomatoes has this at a mere 7%. Now, for others, the New York Times dismissed the film as a cut-rate Gremlins with unexceptional performances and a lot of badly stimulated gore. Variety wrote the film has a quaint corniness about it, as if it were a cheapy horror movie from the 1950s. Special effects and production values are mediocre, which in this case is part of the fun. Well, yes, I do agree. It is pretty corny, but still it's kind of fun in a way. The LA Times wrote cinematographer Mac Alberg contributes eerily lit camera work that occasionally achieves surprising atmosphere and delicacy. And John Carl Buechler's creations, the ghoulies themselves, foul reptilian little beings coated with some obscene, glittering, mucus like moisture, have a certain nauseating charm. From there, however, it's a steep slide downhill. The monthly film bulletin called it an unashamed ripoff which contrives to ignore its obvious inspiration, which was Gremlins, and comes up with yet another prime example of the comic bookish vitality, wit, and simplicity which had become Band's trademark. Well, that's understandable, but nevertheless, I found the film to be pretty funny and pretty eerie and what have you. Sure, it does have a few flaws in why it kind of slows down a little bit about close right about to the middle, but it builds up a little tension in the end though. Nevertheless, Ghoulies was pretty fun and what have you. Despite getting hated and what have you, it went on to have three sequels. Now I've seen two of them, but I've yet to see the fourth film. But that will change eventually. Now, and I will be reviewing those later on down the road. It's scored now by talking about this character. Well, this person named Band. That's they're referring to Richard Band, who composed the music for the film, along with Shirley Walker. Well, apparently did what can I say? Lots of others who would later go on to do scores for other films, including Scrooged, Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Dick Tracy, Darkman, and lots of others. Well, she'd be the conductor, but not the composer. But anyway, I really must admit that was pretty good. For our cast, we have Peter Liapis playing Jonathan. Not too bad. Lisa Pelikan played Rebecca. She wasn't too bad. And the cast isn't completely bad, completely. Scott Thompson played Mike. Ralph Seymour did play the role of Mark. Mariska Hargitay played the character of Donna. David Dayan played the character of Eddie. Victoria Caitlin played the character of Anastasia, and Shireen Kathleen played the character of Robin. The dwarves, Pierre Rich played Grizel, and Tamara de True played Gridigut, and Michael DeBarez played Malcolm Graves, and Jack Nance played Wolfgang. Anyway, the Ghoulies, however, they were really freaky looking, what have you. But of the whole, I've found Ghoulies, despite I've only seen it a few times, it's not too bad of a film. Sure, it is a Gremlins ripoff and what have you, but if you like Gremlins, I think you might want to give this a try if you want to. I mean, if you have seen other films that came out after this, like Critters or maybe Troll, or heck, I could even throw in The Gate, for example, which that's another film I have seen, but I have yet to review that. I will eventually. You should definitely look into Ghoulies. It's not completely bad, completely. It does have its moments and flaws, but still a pretty corny, entertaining horror film with a little humor in it. So that's all I can say. Give it a one-time watch. So what did you think of Ghoulies? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. Make it grow and make the views grow. Tell all your friends about my channel. Get them to know me. Maybe they'd like to be a part of my Big D Nation. Share my vids with your friends if you'd like as well. And we'll have another video coming up soon. So, so if you like this, check out my reviews for these other kind of horror films that were, well, pretty good and what have you. In the upper left hand corner is my re review of a great classic of a killer doll flick, Child's Play from 1988. The upper right hand corner is my review of Puppet Master from 1989, another pretty good film. Or if you like one of the classics, check out my review of the original Poltergeist from 1982 in the bottom left hand corner. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.